For you to be happy and content with your life, you must define, first of all, what amounts to that. A lot of people are on a road traveling to a destination they haven't defined yet. Imagine what that will mean. You're traveling, you don't even know where you are heading to. How can you ever tell yourself, therefore, that I've arrived at where I was hoping to arrive, when you have not defined what that destination is? There's something I'm always surprised about. I always meet people who whine about what their life is turning out to be. They complain about everybody. They complain about every circumstance. They complain about their work. They complain about their family members, about their neighbors, about everything. But the one thing they never whine about is their own contribution in making their lives happier and more fulfilled. You know, as I grew older, I got to learn something. That if you truly want to be happy and fulfilled in this life, you need to do three key things. The first thing is defining to yourself what amounts to happiness, success, and contentment. It might sound simplistic, but trust me, a lot of people don't find time to do that with themselves. A lot of people run through life with the expectation that what looks like happiness to him will be happiness to me. What looks like fulfillment to her would also make my life fulfilled. I notice with some of the most happy people in this life that it's not really about how much they have. It's about how much they define that is enough for them to be happy in life. You know, many years ago I read an article that mentioned something like the most content housewives in the world are found in northern Nigeria. And just for context, northern Nigeria is mostly a Muslim populated part of the country where traditional practices like polygamy and having big families abound. And I started thinking to myself, why are they happy despite the fact that they might not necessarily have all the trappings of life today that we think should make a human being happy? Why are they happiest despite the fact that many of them might not have cars, might not necessarily have the luxury homes that we think in our mind generates contentment and happiness? What is it that makes them fulfilled with their life? And the one thing I could conclude from that, in addition to observing the lives of other people, including my own parents, is that for you to be happy and content with your life, you must define, first of all, what amounts to that. A lot of people are on a road traveling to a destination they haven't defined yet. Imagine what that will mean. You're traveling, you don't even know where you are heading to. How can you ever get there? How can you ever tell yourself, therefore, that I've arrived at where I was hoping to arrive, when you have not defined what that destination is? So number one, be able to define to yourself what really amounts to contentment. The second thing is make sure what will amount to making you happy and content doesn't lie outside of the things you can control. Most of your frustrations, depression, anxiety, anger, and dejection in life will come from relying on things that is outside your control. Of course, I'm not naive to think life is easy, everything is within your control. No, I'm not naive to think that. There are four things in life that you have to make sure are within you. The first thing, never count on anybody's budget for your happiness. Never count on anybody's brains. I will talk about that in a later video. Think for yourself. Use your own God-given brain to reflect for yourself. Don't always be like a leaf that the wind blows and it goes in the direction of the wind. Number three, don't count on becoming happy on somebody else's body. The fourth one, don't count on becoming happy on somebody else's blessing. There is only one source of blessing, and it comes from the Almighty God. And blessings come through human beings, but the generator of the blessing comes from the Most High. There is nobody on earth who can determine the volume or amount of blessing that will come into your life. So don't count on nobody for your blessing. Look up to God and do good and help humanity, and you'll see how that will also flow. I have other videos too that I've talked about the concept of attracting blessing and being able to unleash the capacity and the blessings and being able to unleash things that changes humanity thanks to the blessings we get from the Almighty. So the third thing you want to pay attention to when you are trying to become happy and you are trying to determine exactly what is it that brings you contentment. The first thing, of course, as I mentioned, you want to make sure you define what contentment and happiness means to you. The second thing, don't rely on anything outside of you for that. The third thing that will bring you contentment and happiness in this life is the spirit of gratitude. You know, a lot of people are not grateful for what they have because they've let their minds become trapped in ingratitude for what they want. I want that to sink in. I want you to understand what I'm saying. The grateful people, as I discovered, the key difference between grateful people and ungrateful people is that grateful people are thankful for what they have. Ungrateful people are focused on what they don't have. It's like the bumblebee. The bumblebee defies gravity. The way its body is shaped relative to its wings, it doesn't make sense how the bumblebee flies. But you know why the bumblebee flies? Because it doesn't have ears and it doesn't listen to naysayers. It doesn't care what aerodynamics talks about. It just flaps its wings and starts flying. So don't make the mistake of sitting in whatever corner of the world you are today and feeling miserable about your circumstance, or feeling like you are not blessed enough, or feeling like there is something wrong with you that you need to become very proficient at before you can take a step and build your life. You know what? In this life, focus more on your strengths and not your weaknesses. I know people who spend their whole life trying to get better at what they are good at, instead of get better at what they are bad at, instead of getting great at what they are already good at. You will never be 100% at no point in time. 50% is enough. 40% you can start working on that. In fact, the Parkinson's theory says that 80% of the rewards you're going to have will come from 20% of the things that you focus on and focus on diligently. And if you look down in the comment section, down in the bio section of this video, you'll find additional information on my different social media platforms, on the different things I do. I also run mentorship programs periodically to help young people coming into different parts of the world that might not necessarily be home to you yet, how to adjust, how to build their mind, and how to be able to conquer. In this channel, we focus on personal development. We want to teach you how to build wealth, and we also want to help you to build the legacy. I don't speak to you from a position of superiority. I speak to you from a position of somebody who keeps working, who keeps growing, who keeps learning, and who keeps getting better and better every day. Be well, be blessed, and by all means, never ever stop being a blessing to somebody.